5 seconds before he was supposed to say, "I do," a stranger in an expensive suit grabbed his arm and pulled him away from the altar. "And if you stay with me until the very end, you'll understand why that interruption didn't ruin the wedding, but transformed an entire future." Before we begin, if stories about unexpected kindness, resilience, and second chances move you even a little, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps these stories reach people who might need hope today more than they realize. The small garden venue was quiet in that special way that happens right before something life-changing begins. White chairs lined the aisle, flowers swayed gently in the afternoon breeze, and every eye was on Ethan Cole. He stood at the front in a simple navy suit, hands trembling just enough to betray how hard he was trying to hold himself together. At his side stood his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, in a pale blue dress that she had insisted on picking herself. She clutched his hand like it was the most important job she'd ever had. Ethan was a single dad, and everyone there knew his story. They knew about the nights he worked late after putting Lily to bed, about the lunches he packed with little notes inside, about the years he'd carried both grief and responsibility without complaint. They knew he hadn't planned on falling in love again. But then he met Claire, gentle, patient, and steady in a way that didn't demand anything from him except honesty. Today was supposed to be their beginning. The music started. Claire appeared at the end of the aisle, sunlight catching in her hair, her smile calm and sure. Ethan felt his chest tighten. This was it. This was the moment that made all the hard years worth it. Then it happened. A man stepped out from the seated guests, tall, silver-haired, dressed in a perfectly tailored charcoal suit that didn't belong at a modest garden wedding. Before anyone could react, he reached Ethan and firmly took his arm. "Come with me." "Now," the man said quietly. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Lily squeezed Ethan's hand harder, confused and scared. Ethan's mind raced. Who was this man? Was something wrong with Lily? With Claire? With someone in the family? "I need 5 seconds, the man added, his voice urgent but controlled. "That's all." Against every instinct, Ethan followed him a few steps aside, his heart pounding so loud he barely heard the music stop behind him. The stranger turned, looking straight at him, eyes sharp and strangely emotional. "My name is Victor Hale," he said. "And before you get angry, I need you to know this. I'm not here to stop your wedding. I'm here because of your daughter." Ethan felt the world tilt. "What about her?" he demanded. Victor exhaled slowly. 5 years ago, during the worst night of my life, a man stayed behind at a hospital playground with my granddaughter. He kept her calm, made her laugh, told her stories, while my son fought for his life inside. That man was you." Ethan froze. A memory surfaced. Lily was a baby then, asleep in a stroller while he'd talked to a scared little girl on a swing, waiting for doctors to come back. He hadn't thought about it since. Victor's voice shook. "My son didn't make it. But because of you, my granddaughter wasn't alone. You never knew who I was. I never forgot who you were." Ethan struggled to speak. "I don't understand why you're here." Victor reached into his jacket and held out a thin folder. "Because I'm a billionaire who has spent his life building things that don't matter nearly as much as the people who do. And today, I want to do something right." He paused, then said the words that changed everything. "I want to cover your daughter's education. All of it. And I want to fund the community center you've been trying to open for single parents, quietly, without my name on it." Ethan's knees almost gave out. He thought of the plans he'd shelved, the dreams he'd told himself were unrealistic, the nights he'd stared at spreadsheets trying to make impossible numbers work. "Why?" Ethan whispered. Victor looked back toward the altar, where Claire waited patiently, worry in her eyes but trust in her posture. "Because kindness should echo," he said. "And because today is about beginnings." 5 seconds later, Ethan was back at the altar. The guests were silent, uncertain. He took Lily into his arms, kissed her forehead, then faced Claire. His eyes were wet, his voice unsteady, but stronger than ever. "I'm ready," he said. The ceremony continued, and something about it felt different now, lighter, deeper, fuller. When they said their vows, Ethan didn't promise perfection. He promised presence. Claire promised partnership. Lily smiled so wide it looked like it might break her face. At the reception, Victor stayed only briefly. He congratulated them, knelt to Lily's level, and told her she had a very brave father. Then he left, slipping out as quietly as he'd arrived. Months later, the community center opened. It wasn't grand, but it was full, of laughter, of support groups, of parents who finally felt seen. Lily started school without the shadow of worry hanging over her future. Ethan still worked hard, still packed lunches with notes, still showed up every day, but now he believed, truly believed, that goodness could come back around. So if you're watching this and wondering whether small acts matter, let this be your answer. They do. You may never see the result. You may never know whose life you touched. But sometimes, 5 seconds of kindness can change everything. If this story inspired you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. There are more stories like this, stories about hope showing up when it's least expected, and one of them might be exactly what you need next.